Here's a quick 5-minute intro to this epic masterpiece of Chinese literature. The story begins during the Tang Dynasty, which is roughly the same time as medieval Europe. The Emperor Taizong of Tang, Li Shiming, once had a brush with the underworld and came back to life. In order to redeem wandering souls, he held a massive Buddhist ritual known as the Water and Land Assembly. At his grand Dharma gathering, a monk named Xuanzang, also known as Tripitaka, stood out. The Bodhisattva Guanyin, disguised as an old monk, declared that the Hinayana Buddhism of the Tang Empire was now powerful enough to truly save the dead. Only the true scriptures from the Western heaven could offer salvation to all beings. Out of deep compassion, Tripitaka accepted this secret and difficult mission without hesitation, and thus began his journey full of danger and uncertainty. Sun Wukong was born from a divine stone atop Flower Fruit Mountain. From the moment he emerged, he shone with a supernatural light. He crowned himself great sage equal to heaven, but couldn't accept the rules of the celestial bureaucracy. He caused havoc in heaven, crashed the peach banquet, and stole the elixir of immortality. As punishment, the Buddha trapped him under the five-faced mountain to reflect on his mistakes. 500 years later, under Guanyin's guidance, he waited there for Tripitaka. That marked the start of his journey to protect the monk on the road to the Western heaven. Clever, bold, fiercely loyal, and rebellious by nature, Sun Wukong became the group's strongest fighter. Tripitaka is the reincarnation of the golden cicada, the Buddha's second disciple. Deeply committed to Buddhism and full of compassion, he is the team's spiritual heart, carrying the mission of the Tang Empire. He has only one goal in his heart: to retrieve the scriptures and bring salvation to all. Although his kindness sometimes gets him into trouble, it's his unwavering faith that keeps the team moving forward. Zhubajie was once Marshal Tianpeng in heaven, but after getting drunk and harassing the moon maiden Chang'e, he was banished to the human world and reborn into a pig's body. He later caused trouble in Gao village before joining Tripitaka and his disciples. Zhubajie is simple and warm-hearted, but he's also lazy, greedy, and often tries to sneak out of hard work. Still, he's a loyal companion, and at crucial moments, he will step up. His presence brings humor and charm to the journey. Shan Wujing was once the curtain-lifting general in heaven, but he accidentally shattered a crystal goblet at the peach banquet and was banished to the flowing sand river. Guided by Guanyin, he waited there for the scripture pilgrim. Shan Wujing is honest, loyal, and quietly takes on all the team's chores. He never complains, always carries the luggage, and walks behind the others, speaking little, but every word he says is sincere. He's the group's quiet anchor and a steady source of strength. The journey to the west was full of danger. 81 trials in total. Each ordeal tested their courage and faith, and with every challenge, they grew stronger. After 14 long years, the 4 companions finally reached Virtual Peak in the Western Heaven, met the Buddha, and obtained the scriptures. Their journey was complete. Though Journey to the West is a fantasy novel, the wisdom within gives us a lot to think about. No matter how hard things got, the 4 pilgrims never gave up. That's the power of faith and persistence. In the end, the true scripture wasn't just waiting at the top of the mountain. It was in every step they took, every demon they defeated, and every lesson they learned along the way. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I hope you've enjoyed this tale and may give you some new thoughts or inspiration in your own life.